first time in my life, so I'm going to talk about first drug avoidance and second addiction freedom. So here's some statistics. In the last year, people aged, and this is Canadian statistics as well, people aged 15 to 24, 21.6% of them had tried marijuana, 4.8 had done illicit drugs, and 78% had consumed alcohol. So if you add up all that, I mean, chances are, I'm going to say most of you in this room have done one of those three. The fact remains that this is something important for everybody. This is something that comes into everybody's lives, and this is something that really does hinder people's lives. I know myself, I didn't look at it very, very seriously. I thought that, you know, I had all the time in the world. People kept telling me I was an addict, and I kept denying it. And the more I denied it, the worse I became. And it eventually really just crippled my life. And I didn't even realize it. People say that, you know, I'll grow up and maybe I'll drop this just for now. It's just for, I want to party and have fun. It really is not something that you can just drop. So I just want everyone to know that this is something that really could affect your lives forever. This quote I have from Dax Shepard. It says, from 18 to 29, I was a heavy smoker, heavy drinker, drug addict, terrible eater, and a philanderer. The past 8 years since I got sober have honestly been about trying to peel back each of those habits to give back to the 12-year-old kid inside who is tremendously excited about life. And that's very, very true. You know, at first it seems like it's something that's very enjoyable, but eventually it becomes something that is controlling your life. Your whole life is based around this thing, and you completely lose the joy of life entirely. Your whole life is about a substance and nothing else. And I'm just very thankful that I have been free of this myself. So I want to show you guys it's a pretty personal video. This is a video of me and my brother at the house church that I attend, giving up all our paraphernalia and whatnot when we quit.
This out. Have I never seen this stuff before? Jesse and his brother Logan, go ahead, Logan, just pull some of this stuff out. Jesse and his brother Logan were just really bad drug addicts. Yeah. And yeah, it's just really not. They had gas masks and everything. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it does. So this stuff here is the old life. It's the old life. That's what it is. And when it's the old life, then you bring it into the light, which is the new life. And when you bring it to the new life, right, then you destroy it. And in Acts 19, it says this.
So basically, that was my life. Everything you saw there was my life. And unfortunately, that wasn't even all the things that I owned. I threw them in the trash. I just put them in a garbage bag and chucked them out. And my life has been so much better since. So I want to stress how easy it is to become a drug addict. I didn't begin my life thinking I was going to become a drug addict, and I don't think anybody does. It started off as something that I thought would really kind of ease the way I felt. Myself, people do drugs for different reasons. People want to have fun. People want to do, you know, they just go to a party and they do the drug or whatever. I myself, I did it because I suffer from depression. I wanted to cover up depression, and it so quickly led me into drug addiction. The effects on your life is crippling. Once again, I need everyone here to know that it's not something you can just fool around with and eventually give up. So the point I want to stress the strongest is if you have not tried drugs, or you know you're not currently doing those things, is to stay as far away as possible. There's no sense in even trying them. They're really not that great, to be honest. The effects they'll have, they'll control your life, and there's no sense in even trying them. The rest I'm going to talk about is in fact if you are addicted, like I myself was. People will tell themselves that they're not addicted, like I did myself. I convinced myself that I wasn't, yet everybody told me I was. The day I So my 2 points, obviously, avoid drugs and how to be free from drug addiction. I'll be honest, I thought I would be a drug addict for the rest of my life. My parents wanted to kick me out of the house. Um, so I'm so thankful that I am in fact free. The only thing I've ever seen work is Jesus. That's the only thing I've ever seen free a drug addict. I have seen what rehabilitation works. I have family that are in methadone clinics, people who have been on methadone programs. Every single one of my friends, almost all of my friends, are former drug addicts. Rehabilitation, unfortunately, really doesn't work. I think it has a 20% or less success rate, and I have family members that are even in it now, and it's very crippling. It's taken all her money. She's lost her home, and she's lost her family. She lives in a one-bedroom apartment, which is barely an apartment at all. But I've firsthand witnessed the power of God myself, in not only my own life, but in the life of my brother, and in the lives of the people that I consider my family. I've seen drug addicts freed instantaneously. My pastor himself was a drug addict. He abused over-the-counter drugs and was an alcoholic. One of my best friends, Frank, he's 30 years old and has been a drug addict for 25 years. You do the math. He started drinking when he was 5 years old. His cousins would feed him alcohol, and he was a drug addict ever since. My friend Jimmy was a cocaine addict. He injected cocaine into his arm. You don't get free from something like that. Even if you stop doing the drug, you're considered an addict forever. You're considered liable to be a drug addict for the rest of your life. And this man, over a year and 3 months ago, the same day me and my brother gave up our drugs, has dropped his needles and has never touched them since. There are side effects if you do quit. Things like, for cocaine especially, you might even feel that there's bugs on you. You become paranoid. You lose sleep. All these things. There was absolutely no side effects with any of the people that I know. There was no side effects whatsoever when we ended up ditching our habit. And I want to stress that the habit was ditched instantaneously. It was not something that was worked out over months at a time. It was something that was given up instantly. And that is something that I find absolutely and positively amazing. And there's some people here that might be downplaying the effects of the things that they do here. I'm not sure. I don't know you. But this is a chart that details the harm caused by drugs. The number one is alcohol. The dark blue line is the harm that is caused to other people around you, and the light blue line is the harm that you caused yourself. Alcohol is number one, for sure. And I'm pretty sure that most people in here do consume alcohol. It is very harmful to your body, and it's harmful to the people around you. Everything should be used in moderation. And unfortunately, coming from Malheur County, I know a lot of people that have skipped the moderation part. Something I found very interesting, if you look at tobacco and cannabis here, which is marijuana, the harm caused to others is actually higher than amphetamines and methamphetamines, and is on par with cocaine. People don't realize the harm that they're doing to themselves and the harm that they're doing to the people around them. The reason why it's so much higher than those other things is it's so much more prevalent. Like I said, 21% of people aged 15 to 24 have done these things in the last year. It's something that it is very painful. It does hurt your family. It hurts the people around you. It strained the relationships with my parents and the family around me. I had absolutely no friends. I had absolutely no family. The only person who had ever talked to me was my brother, and that was all I had. And unfortunately, I made him a drug addict myself. I was the one who roped him into that. So it does cause harm. It does harm your family. It harms your relationships, and it can mar your life. So I want to stress once again that Jesus does set people free. He set me free in an instant, and I've never looked back. I've been free from tobacco. I did smoke as well. He set me free from that. Obviously, I smoked marijuana. I did other drugs, party drugs, but he set my brother free. He set me free. He set all my friends free as well. The vast benefits that your life will have is just absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. I thought, like I said, I thought my life would be spent as a drug addict for the rest of the life that I would spend here on earth. I suffer from depression incredibly bad, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't be standing here. Before I ever started doing drugs or anything like that, the reason I did was because of depression. I did actually try to take my own life, and failed, obviously, because I'm standing here before you. And I was planning a second suicide attempt before, Jesus saved my life. The cost is your life, as you can tell by my own story. Even if you don't try to take your own life, or you don't go down that path, you know, you're not suffering from depression at all. It still consumes you. It still consumes your life, and it's something that everybody really needs to be aware of. Now these are the people who I was talking about before. This is Jimmy. He was one who used to inject cocaine in his arm. This is my pastor, Dan. He used to abuse over-the-counter pills and be an alcoholic. This is Frank with his cousin there. So he was one who was drinking since he was 5 years old. And of course, here's myself and my brother. These are people who were all touched and saved, not because of something they did, and not because of something, the effort that they put into their own life, but because of something that was free. So I lived my life for myself, and it left me so unhappy and so unsatisfied. The reason I'm here, honestly, is to show you and tell you about the power that comes from Christ. I lived a terrible life. I was filled with anger, I was lonely, I felt worthless, and obviously I was on drugs. And Jesus was my only freedom. He was the only reason that I'm standing before you today. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably be dead. So thank you for everyone for listening.
Good job, Jesse. Good job. Good job,
That's
I
all right.
know, I
Grade
feel the
myself
same way.
Yeah. I feel like I just wanna give everyone a hug today. It's just sad and upsetting, like
Yeah,
I
I
just
took
wanna
a
cry
monster
right now.
sleep.
If it makes everybody feel better, I mean, my life is very much different.
Yeah.
I am happy and joyful now. Everything's
That's why
great.
we wanna hug you.
Jesse, can I ask you a question? How long ago was this?
It was a year and 3 months ago.
Before you started school? Well,
Yeah, it was right before I started school.
Actually, in Canada, it's not that bad. In Ukraine, I found two of my classmates on the stairs dead from drugs.
Oh, seriously?
Really?
dead?
Found, yeah. One day when